Blue sat in their small quarters aboard the guild station, surrounded by floating holographic screens. After 3 hours of research, their food lay untouched, and their color had shifted between yellow and gray at least 20 times. "Computer, show me Earth weather patterns again," Blue commanded, trying to keep their voice steady. The main screen displayed a planet wrapped in swirling white clouds. Red dots marked active storms, yellow showed extreme temperature zones, and blue indicated what humans called mild weather. There were thousands of dots. "They lived through all of this?" Blue muttered, watching as the computer simulated Earth's weather over a standard month. "Display average human activities during storm conditions." The screen changed to show humans doing something called surfing in massive waves, others running through rain with tiny fabric shields called umbrellas, and some even chasing storms in vehicles to study them. Blue's antenna curled in distress. "At least the trading post is in a place called Nevada," Blue said to themselves. "Computer, show Nevada conditions." Nevada, desert region. Average summer temperature 40 degrees Celsius. Minimal rainfall. Frequent dust storms. Home to various earth predators including scorpions, snakes, and coyotes. Blue quickly ordered a new set of protective gear rated for extreme heat, then ordered a backup set. Then a backup for the backup. A message alert blinked on one of the screens. It was from Old Gray. "Thought you might need this. It's a list of essential supplies for Earth trading. Don't forget the gravity compensators. Humans think their gravity is normal. Good luck." Blue opened the list and their eyes widened. Triple-strength gravity compensators. Heat-resistant environment suit. Chemical protection gear. Humans use cleaning substances that can melt standard metal. Emergency shelter rated for tornado conditions. Universal translator with Earth dialect package. Medical kit with antidotes for caffeine and capsaicin. Sound dampeners. Humans enjoy very loud music. Computer, order everything on this list, Blue commanded. Priority shipping. While waiting for the confirmation, Blue accessed more files about human behavior. Each new piece of information was more terrifying than the last. Humans regularly lifted heavy objects without powered assistance, worked outdoors in extreme temperatures, ate food hot enough to damage their mouth tissue, continued activities during dangerous weather, kept predators as pets, operated powerful vehicles at high speeds for fun. Blue was so absorbed in the research that they almost missed the delivery notification. Their new protective gear had arrived. With trembling hands, they opened the first package, a top-of-the-line gravity compensator. Instructions. Warning: do not test compensator at full Earth gravity without proper medical supervision. Blue read aloud. How do humans even move in this? They spent the next hour practicing with the compensator at gradually increasing gravity levels. By the time they reached 70% Earth normal, their legs were shaking. A second message notification appeared. This one was from the Guild Insurance Office. Notice: Standard life insurance does not cover Earth assignment. Would you like to purchase our special Death World coverage package? Blue quickly approved the purchase, trying not to think about why such insurance existed. The final hours before departure were spent recording messages for their family. Dear Clutchmates, if you're seeing this, I either didn't survive Earth or have joined a human extreme sports group. My possessions should be divided according to standard guild protocols. Please don't let anyone sell my collection of rare minerals, except maybe to a human. They'd probably appreciate the slightly radioactive ones. As Blue packed their bags, they looked out the station window at the distant stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, a planet so dangerous that even its inhabitants' idea of relaxation involved risk of bodily harm. Computer, Blue said finally, set a reminder to update my will tomorrow. And download all available information about something humans call coffee. If I'm going to face death, I might as well understand what I'm dying for. Blue's 3 hands trembled as they held the assignment slate. The merchant's skin shifted from its usual calm green to a pale yellow, a clear sign of distress among their species. The words on the screen couldn't be right. There had to be some mistake. Earth sector. Blue whispered, antenna drooping. There must be an error. The assignment office of the Stellar Commerce Guild was busy as always. Merchants from 100 different species moved about, collecting their new trade routes with practiced ease. But around Blue, a small circle of empty space had formed as other merchants noticed the Earth designation on their slate. "I see you got the special route," a deep voice rumbled from behind. Blue turned to find Old Gray, one of the most experienced merchants in the guild. The elder trader's weathered exoskeleton showed the marks of countless successful trade runs, but even he had never taken the Earth route. "Is it true?" Blue asked, trying to keep their voice steady. "The stories about Earth." Old Gray settled into a sitting posture, all four of his eyes blinking slowly. "Depends on which stories you've heard. But I'll tell you this, we've lost 3 merchants on that route in the past cycle alone." Blue's secondary heart nearly stopped. "Lost? You mean?" "Oh, they're not dead." Old Gray chuckled. "They quit, gave up their guild memberships, and went to work in the safer mining colonies on the rim. One of them, Red, was tough as compressed carbon. Had been trading with the warrior clans of Nexus 6 for 20 cycles. Earth broke them in 2 standard weeks. Blue slumped against the wall, their anti-gravity belt barely compensating for the movement. "What's so terrible about it? The basic data just shows a Class 3 civilization on a heavy gravity world." "Heavy gravity is just the beginning," Old Gray said, lowering his voice. "Earth is what we call a death world. The entire planet is trying to kill its inhabitants all the time. They have frozen zones and burning zones, often right next to each other. Their atmosphere regularly forms into destroying winds that can lift buildings. The ground splits open and spews liquid rock. Giant waves of water destroy their coastal cities. And the locals? They just rebuild and carry on like it's normal. Surely they have proper protective installations?" Blue asked hopefully. "Some. But here's the really crazy part. They go outside for fun. They climb frozen mountains without protective gear. They jump out of flying vehicles for entertainment. They willingly eat plants that cause chemical burns to their mouths. And they're always working, no matter what their world throws at them." Blue's color shifted to an even paler shade of yellow. "There must be some way to refuse this assignment." "Sure." Old Gray stood up, joints creaking. "You can refuse, but you know the guild rules. 3 refusals, and you lose your merchant status. Besides," he paused, all 4 eyes gleaming, "Earth trade routes are actually the most profitable in the guild right now." "Profitable? How?" "Think about it. They survive on a death world. Everything they make is practically indestructible by normal standards. Their simple food storage containers can withstand pressures that would crush a standard ship's hull. Their children's toys meet safety standards that our military equipment barely achieves. And they sell it all at prices they consider normal." Blue looked down at the assignment slate again. The Earth route was a 12-cycle contract. Success would mean wealth beyond imagination. Failure, well, they could always go work in the mining colonies. "First ship leaves in 3 standard days," Old Gray said, already walking away. "I'd suggest updating your will and getting your gravity compensators checked." And Blue, "Yes. If you survive the first cycle, let me know if the stories about their coffee are true. They say it's a toxic stimulant that humans drink for pleasure." As Blue watched Old Gray disappear into the crowd, they realized their color had shifted to gray, the shade of resigned acceptance. Like it or not, they were going to Earth. At least they had 3 days to prepare for what would either be the end of their career or the adventure of a lifetime. Blue's trading ship landed at Earth's Nevada trading post exactly at local noon. This, Blue would soon learn, was their first mistake. Temperature outside is 42 degrees Celsius, the ship's computer announced cheerfully. Local humans described today's weather as a bit warm. Blue triple-checked their protective suits' seals and activated all cooling systems. The gravity compensator hummed against their back, struggling to make Earth's crushing gravity bearable. With a deep breath of filtered air, they opened the ship's door. The wave of heat that hit them was like standing next to an engine core. "Welcome to Earth," a loud voice called out. "You must be Merchant Blue." Through the heat waves rising from the ground, Blue saw a human walking towards them, not running for shelter, not wearing any protective gear, just walking. In fact, the human wore only a thin layer of fabric called a shirt and shorts. Blue's translator provided these terms, though they made no sense. How could anyone survive with so little protection? "I'm Tom, the port manager," the human said, extending one of its upper limbs. Blue remembered the briefing about the human greeting called a handshake and reluctantly extended a hand from within their protective suit. Your cooling system," Blue managed to say. "It must be very powerful." Tom looked confused. "Cooling system? Oh, you mean like AC? Nah, it's not too bad out here today. Though you might want to come inside. You look a little uncomfortable in that suit." Inside the port building, Blue was surprised to find the temperature much more reasonable. They carefully unsealed their helmet after their instruments confirmed the air was safe to breathe. "Would you like some coffee?" Tom asked, holding up a container of dark liquid. Standard welcome for new traders. Blue's third heart nearly stopped. The legendary human stimulant brew. Their research had shown it contained enough caffeine to send some alien species into cardiac arrest. I shouldn't," Blue began, but Tom was already pouring 2 cups. "Light roast," Tom said with a smile. "We learned to start new traders on the gentle stuff after that incident with Merchant Green last year. Poor fellow tried espresso on his first day." Blue watched in fascination as Tom casually sipped the steaming liquid. Through the window behind him, Blue could see humans operating heavy loading machines in the burning sun. A group of young humans were playing something called basketball on an outdoor court. One of them was wearing a thick sweater despite the heat. "Is it always this?" Blue gestured vaguely at everything. "Pleasant," Tom suggested. "Nah, it gets pretty hot in late summer. This is just spring weather. Oh, watch out for the pet scorpion. She likes to hide under that chair." Blue jumped onto their chair with surprising agility for someone in a full environmental suit. "Pet scorpion," they squeaked. "Yeah, we keep her around for the tourists. Most alien merchants love taking pictures with her. Makes them feel brave, you know." "Speaking of pictures, want to see what this place looks like during a dust storm?" Before Blue could protest, Tom pulled out a device and showed images of the trading post engulfed in a massive brown cloud. The most terrifying part, the humans in the pictures were just going about their business, some even smiling at the camera. "That's from last week," Tom said proudly. "Regular Tuesday around here, though we did have to cancel the outdoor concert." Blue's color shifted to a worried gray. "You have concerts, outdoors, in this?" "Well, not in dust storms anymore. Safety regulations." Tom rolled his eyes as if suggesting these regulations were overly cautious. "Oh, that reminds me. Your ship will need some modifications. Standard Earth gravity tends to compress the lower deck storage units. But I already installed the strongest gravity compensators available," Blue protested. Tom laughed. "Those guild-issued ones, they're barely rated for our loading docks. Don't worry, our engineers will fix you up. They love tinkering with alien tech. Makes them feel useful on slow days." As if on cue, a loud crash came from outside, followed by cheerful human laughter and someone shouting, "My bad." Blue looked at their untouched coffee, then at the seemingly indestructible humans outside, and made a decision. If they were going to survive this assignment, they needed to start understanding these creatures. With trembling hands, they picked up the coffee cup and took a tiny sip. Tom grinned. "Welcome to Earth, friend. Trust me, The coffee is just the beginning. 1 week into their Earth assignment, Blue sat in their modified office at the trading post, watching the security feeds with a mix of horror and fascination. They had even started drinking coffee regularly, though they still shivered at the memory of accidentally trying something called espresso yesterday. Recording daily log, Blue spoke into their personal device. Earth observations, Day 7. I'm beginning to suspect these humans are either completely insane or secretly invincible. On one screen, a human worker was moving heavy crates without using the available lifting robot. "Excuse me," Blue called through the intercom. "There's a perfectly good lifting bot right next to you." The worker, Bill, looked up and grinned. "Nah, it's good exercise. Gotta keep in shape for the rock climbing competition this weekend." Rock climbing. Blue's antenna twitched nervously. "Yeah, we go up the cliffs behind the trading post. You should join us." Blue quickly switched off that camera feed, only to see something equally disturbing on another screen. A group of humans were gathered in the break room, passing around small red objects. Are those the legendary ghost peppers? Blue zoomed in the camera, watching in disbelief. Their research had classified these as biological weapons in 3-star systems. Through the speakers, Blue could hear the humans challenging each other. "Bet you can't eat 3 at once. Watch me." Blue quickly called the medical bay, only to be told this was normal human behavior. "They do this every Spicy Food Friday," the medical officer explained, sounding bored. Switching to the outdoor cameras, Blue watched a human child playing with something their database identified as a dog, a descendant of Earth's wolves. The child was letting the predator lick their face while laughing. Recording additional note, Blue spoke shakily. Humans domesticate predators and let them live in their homes. They appear to treat these deadly creatures as cute. A notification popped up on their screen. A mandatory cultural exchange event was scheduled for that evening. The humans were going to show a movie. Blue had researched Earth entertainment and felt reasonably prepared. They were wrong. "Welcome to Horror Movie Night," Tom announced to the gathered crowd of humans and the few alien merchants brave enough to attend. "Tonight we're watching The Shining, a classic." 2 hours later, Blue's color had shifted to a previously unknown shade of pale yellow-gray. "You watch this for entertainment?" they asked Tom, still trembling. "Oh yeah, nothing like a good scare to get the blood pumping. Next week we're showing Alien, though we had to stop showing that one to the xenomorphian merchants. They found it offensive." Later that night, Blue added to their log. "Humans intentionally seek out experiences that trigger fear responses. They call this fun. They also eat substances that cause pain. Lift heavy objects when machines are available. Play with predators. Work in extreme conditions by choice. Jump out of perfectly functional aircraft." Adding request for psychological evaluation of entire species. A knock on their office door made Blue jump. It was Tom, carrying 2 cups of coffee. "Thought you might need this after the movie," he said cheerfully. "Oh, and heads up, there's a small sandstorm coming tomorrow. I'll postpone all shipping operations," Blue started to say, reaching for the emergency protocols. "What? Nah, it's just a baby storm. Though we are planning a barbecue on the roof to watch it come in. You should join us." Blue stared at Tom for a long moment. "You're having an outdoor cooking event during a sandstorm. Best time for it. The sand adds a nice crunch to the hot dogs. Plus, we've got this great new hot sauce to try. It's so spicy it comes with a liability waiver." As Tom left, Blue slowly sipped their coffee and opened a message to the Stellar Commerce Guild. Request to update Earth trading protocols. Current safety guidelines severely underestimate human resilience. Also, please send more antacids. Humans have invited me to something called a chili cook-off tomorrow, and I'm told the standard issue medical kit won't be sufficient. Through their window, Blue watched as the humans set up party decorations for the upcoming sandstorm barbecue and wondered, not for the first time, if they were actually the most sensible species in the galaxy or the craziest. The fact that they were beginning to lean toward the former option worried them more than any sandstorm could. 2 weeks into their Earth assignment, Blue had almost started to believe they were getting used to humans. They'd survived the chilly cook-off, barely, watched 3 horror movies, with only minor color fluctuations, and had even started leaving their protective suit behind on nice days, which humans defined as anything below 35 degrees Celsius. Then came the big storm. The morning started normally enough. Blue was checking inventory when their sensors picked up the first warning signs. "Tom," Blue called out, trying to keep their voice steady. "The wind speed is increasing significantly. My instruments show a massive dust formation approaching from the west." Tom glanced at his simple human weather device. "Oh yeah, looks like a big one. Better tie down the light stuff." "Tie down the..." Blue's antenna stood straight up in alarm. "We need to shut down operations, seal all doors, get everyone inside." "Nah, we got at least an hour before it hits. Plenty of time to finish loading the ships." Tom paused, looking at Blue's rapidly paling color. "Though maybe you should go check on your cargo. That new shipment of Centaurian crystal vases just arrived, right?" Blue's 3 hearts nearly stopped. The vases, each one worth more than a small spaceship, and fragile as human emotions. They rushed to the storage area, their gravity compensator whining with the sudden movement. The storm hit faster than anyone expected. Even the humans looked mildly concerned, which terrified Blue more than any of their sensors' readings. Through the howling wind and stinging sand, Blue could barely see the storage unit where their precious cargo sat. The main doors were rattling. The roof panels were creaking. And then, with a sound that cut through even the storm's roar, one of the panels broke free. "No!" Blue screamed, watching helplessly as the panel flew toward the storage unit. Their entire career was about to end in a crash of expensive crystal and flying debris. But then a shape moved through the storm, a human shape, running straight into the wind. It was Tom. Without any protective gear, in winds that Blue's sensors said could lift small vehicles, Tom ran to the storage unit. Blue watched in disbelief as the human braced himself against the building, reached up with those ridiculous simple arms that had no built-in hydraulics or strength enhancements, and caught the flying panel. The metal sheet slammed into Tom with enough force to dent its edge. But he held on, slowly turning his body to let the wind help him guide the panel to the ground instead of fighting it directly. "Little help here," Tom called out, his voice barely audible through the storm. Blue realized they had been standing frozen, their color cycling through every shade of shocked disbelief. They rushed forward, gravity compensator protesting. Together, they secured the panel. Then Tom simply turned and walked to the storage unit doors, adding extra locks as if he hadn't just done something Blue's species would consider impossible. "The vases should be fine," Tom said, spitting out some sand. "Though we might want to move them to the reinforced unit until the storm passes. I'll grab one end if you get the other." But Blue struggled to form words. "The wind pressure, your endoskeleton should have fractured. The sand particles at this velocity are like microprojectiles." Tom shrugged, wiping dust from his face. "Yeah, gonna need a good shower after this. Sand gets everywhere. Hey, once we move these vases, want to watch the storm from the observation deck. The lightning shows in dust storms are amazing." Blue stared at their human friend. In the past 10 minutes, Tom had survived conditions that would qualify as weapons grade on most worlds, saved a fortune in cargo, and his main concern was sand in his clothes. And now he wanted to watch the storm for entertainment. Recording emergency log update, Blue muttered to their personal device as they helped Tom move the vases. Previous assessments of human durability may have been severely underestimated, requesting immediate update to species classification. Also, they may be right about the storms being beautiful. Through the howling wind, Tom grinned. "Wait till you see what we do during tornado season." Blue decided some things were better left as surprises, They had already learned that with humans, the impossible was just another word for Tuesday. 3 months into their Earth assignment, Blue sat in the trading post's break room, casually sipping their third cup of coffee. They weren't even using their toxin filters anymore. Their morning reports to the Stellar Commerce Guild had changed from panic-filled warnings to fascinating observations about human ingenuity. Recording daily log, Blue spoke, watching humans unload cargo in the morning heat. I believe I've made a significant error in my initial assessment of humans and their planet. Through the window, they could see new Trader Green. No relation to the previous Green who fled after the espresso incident, hiding in their environmental suit while humans worked around them in what they called tank tops. Hey Blue. Tom walked in, carrying a box labeled Extra Spicy Desert Heat Sauce. Warning, may cause spontaneous tears. Want to try the new shipment? Perhaps a small taste. Blue replied, surprising themselves. 3 months ago, they would have hidden under a desk at the mere sight of human condiments. As Tom set up the taste test, Blue continued their log. Humans aren't reckless, as we originally thought. They're adaptable. Incredibly so. Just then, the building's cooling system made a concerning noise and shut down. The temperature began rising immediately. Main cooling units broken again, Tom announced after checking the system. Maintenance says it'll take about 4 hours to fix. Blue watched in amazement as the humans simply nodded, grabbed some water bottles, and continued working. Some opened windows. Others brought out small devices called fans. No one panicked. No one declared an emergency. They just adapted. See, that's what I mean. Blue spoke into their log while helping Tom distribute water bottles. 2 days ago, there was a minor earthquake. Instead of evacuating, they've developed an entire system of building designs that move with the shaking. When rain flooded the lower storage units, they already had waterproof containers and drainage systems in place. Talking to yourself again. Tom grinned, offering Blue a taste of the new hot sauce. Just updating my reports, Blue said, carefully trying a drop of the sauce. Their eyes widened at the heat, but they managed not to change color this time. Progress. You know what I've noticed? Tom said, sitting down with his own impossibly large portion of the sauce. Most alien merchants see Earth as this super dangerous place, but really, we just got good at dealing with stuff. Blue nodded enthusiastically. Exactly. Your species doesn't just survive here. You've turned every challenge into an opportunity. Those gravity compensators you modify for my ship. You took our best technology and improved it in ways our engineers never considered. Well, when you live in a place that's constantly trying to squish you, you get creative. Tom laughed. Speaking of creative solutions, want to see something cool? Tom led Blue to the engineering bay, where humans were testing new cargo containers. They were dropping them from increasing heights, testing their strength under extreme temperatures, and even staging small explosions near them. These are for the new Martian colony route, Tom explained proudly. Regular containers can't handle the temperature swings up there. Blue watched in fascination. You're already adapting cargo containers for Mars, but you've barely started colonizing it. Better to solve problems before they become problems, Tom shrugged. Oh, and check this out. We've modified them to work as emergency shelters too. You know, just in case. Blue added to their log. Humans don't just solve problems. They anticipate them. They're not just surviving on a death world. They're thriving on it. And now they're taking those skills to other planets. As they watched the testing continue, Blue remembered their first terrified days on Earth. How had they not seen it then? Every dangerous aspect of Earth had pushed humans to become more innovative, more resilient, and, surprisingly, more optimistic. Want to help test the next batch? Tom asked, holding up a safety helmet. We're seeing how they handle acid rain conditions. Blue surprised themselves again by reaching for the helmet. Why not? I've learned that with humans, the scary things often turn out to be the most interesting. Now you're getting it. Tom grinned. Just wait till you see what we're planning for the Jupiter stations. Blue decided not to ask about Jupiter just yet. Some revelations about human ingenuity were better taken one death-defying innovation at a time. 6 months into their Earth assignment, Blue stood before the Stellar Commerce Guild's holographic conference panel, their color a confident shade of deep green. Behind them, statistics and profit charts floated in the air. In conclusion, Blue addressed the wide-eyed guild officials. I request not only to maintain my position on the Earth route, but to expand our trading operations there. The guild master's image flickered as they leaned forward. Merchant Blue, let me get this straight. You want to triple our investment in what we classify as a death world. Respectfully, Guildmaster, I believe our classification needs updating. Blue pulled up a new set of data. Humans don't just survive their world's challenges. They innovate because of them. Blue played a video clip of the recent dust storm incident. The guild officials watched in shock as humans efficiently secured cargo, modified equipment on the fly, and even improved alien technology to work better in harsh conditions. And this is what they consider a normal workday, Blue added. I've seen them do more impressive things during their lunch breaks. But the dangers, one official started, are precisely why we should increase trade. Blue interrupted, surprising even themselves with their boldness. Look at these profit margins. The numbers spoke for themselves. Blue's trading post had quadrupled its profits since they'd started letting humans modify their cargo systems and storage solutions. Their children's toy containers can withstand pressures that crack our military-grade storage units, Blue explained. Their basic weather protection technology is more advanced than our best environmental systems, and they sell it all at prices that make our previous trading partners look like scam artists. And you're sure they're not just being reckless with safety? Another official asked. Blue played another video, this one showing humans meticulously testing new cargo containers, running countless safety checks, and documenting every possible failure scenario. Humans aren't reckless, Blue said firmly. They're thorough. They don't just want things to work. They want to know exactly how and why they might fail, so they can make them better. The guild master was quiet for a long moment. You've changed, Merchant Blue. 6 months ago, you were begging to refuse this assignment. 6 months ago, I didn't understand. Blue's color shifted to a warm, confident purple. I thought Earth was trying to kill its inhabitants. Now I realize it's been training them. Every challenge their world presents makes them more innovative, more adaptable, and, ironically, better trading partners. Blue pulled up their final slide. A proposal for a new Earth Trading Academy. I want to train other merchants to work with humans. Yes, Earth is dangerous by our standards. Yes, humans do things that seem impossible. But that's exactly why we need to learn from them. And you're willing to run this academy? The guild master asked. I've already started, unofficially. Blue showed clips of them, teaching new merchants how to handle Earth gravity, drink coffee safely, and understand human innovations. Though I should warn you, the graduation ceremony involves something called a barbecue. We may need to update our insurance policies. Laughter rippled through the guild panel, something almost unheard of in official meetings. Very well, the guild master announced. Proposal accepted. The Earth Trading Academy is approved, with you as its head instructor. Though I must ask, what happened to your environmental suit? Isn't Earth's atmosphere dangerous? Blue looked down at their bare exoskeleton, realizing they hadn't worn the suit in weeks. Oh, that? Well, as my human friends would say, you get used to it. Back at the trading post after the meeting, Tom was waiting with 2 cups of coffee, proper espresso this time. How'd it go? He asked, sliding 1 cup to Blue. They approved everything, Blue said, taking a long sip without any safety precautions, though they're a bit worried about the barbecue graduation idea. Wait till they hear about the field trip to the volcano research station, Tom grinned. Blue's color shifted slightly, but they found themselves grinning back. You know what? Add it to the curriculum. After all, as you humans say, What doesn't kill you makes you better at intergalactic trade, Tom suggested. Close enough. Blue laughed, raising their coffee cup. To Earth, the most terrifyingly educational trading route in the galaxy. To Earth, Tom agreed, where the impossible is just another Tuesday. Outside, another dust storm was brewing. Blue watched their new batch of merchant trainees preparing for it with excitement rather than fear, and knew they had made the right choice. Sometimes, the scariest assignment could turn out to be the best one, especially if it came with coffee.